Hey, what is up guys? My name is Grief Drums, and today we have huge news coming out of the Rainbow Six Siege camp. Stick around and we're going to go through all of the latest news and information about Operation Blood Orchid. So as you will no doubt have seen in the title of this video, Operation Blood Orchid has actually been delayed by a week. Instead of its original deployment date on August 29th, it's now only going to be deployed to the technical test servers on the 29th, with season pass holders getting it a week later on September 5th on all platforms. This means that on September 5th we're going to be getting the 3 new operators and access to the map, as well as the entire update itself for all of the fixes, glitch, bugs, everything like that. However, if you're not a season pass holder, you are going to have to wait an extra week for the 3 operators. You'll still get everything else, but those 3 operators you're going to have to hang around for. No doubt this is going to cause quite a bit of an upset. We've waited 3 months already for this season that was already delayed, and now we've got to wait at least another week before it actually gets here. So I can understand if there's going to be some pretty hacked off people in the community. But the reasoning behind it is that they've got a lot of changes coming, and they want to test all of it for a week before we all get it and before it gets implemented. They do state in the Reddit post that this is the first time they're going to be deploying actual content on the test server, which will help ensure a stable launch on all platforms. This is kind of a kick in the nuts to those people that don't play on PC. You're not going to get access to the operators. Everyone else that plays PC is going to get access to the operators and all of the new functions and everything a week early if you go on the technical test server. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting my hands on that. The next big bit of information to come out of all of this is actually something that Core Ross has mentioned in his videos from Gamescom. He's out there at the minute. He's been playing Operation Blood Orchid, or at least the demo version of it that they've got set up out there. And I noticed that something that he said was Jager and Bandit don't have an ACOG that you can select in their operator loadouts. So this could be another confirmation that they are actually losing their ACOGs. As most of you will know by now, a leak came out not so long ago that predicted a lot of the things that we've actually got, like the operators and their gadgets. You know, some of the things weren't quite right, but they were close enough. And Jager and Bandit losing their ACOGs was another one of the things that was leaked. This was quite quickly admitted as being fake, and, you know, the bloke had made it up. But there might be some truth to it if it's not even in the demo at Gamescom. Why would they just randomly remove the ACOG from these 2 operators? So that's really going to mess with the meta, and I know a lot of people are going to be really ticked off about this. I mean, I for one love playing Bandit, and I really enjoy using the ACOG. I don't think it's crucial, I don't think we need it, but it's an enjoyable way to play that operator. So it's going to be really interesting to see what sort of an effect this has. A lot of people believe that by removing their ACOGs it would reduce spawn peeking. I can't really see that being the case. I still think people are going to spawn rush and spawn peek with hollows or reflex sights, so it's going to be interesting to see what effect this does have on the game. The next bit of information we've got is we've got all of the operator gadgets. Now I know that these were leaked, but we've got official confirmation of the gadgets themselves and what they do, as well as the numbers that they carry and who is carrying what. So we're going to break all of this down. We're going to start off with Ying, who is the Hong Kong CTU attacker. And as we already knew, she carries these Ela devices. Now these are the small little spheres that a teaser trailer was released for a couple of days ago. Now her gadget is like a sphere device, as you can see in this video here, in which she can roll it under doors. But the reality of it is she actually carries 3 of them, and they are basically flashbangs. They can be thrown like grenades, but they do have a few different deployment options. Instead of just simply throwing it, you can hold the button down and actually cook it for release. And as you'll see from the trailer, there's 3 little lights that on top of it will progressively light up. These sort of work like a delay. The longer you hold it down, the longer the delay is on the sphere actually exploding and firing out these little flash charges into the air. This means if you want to rush a site quickly, you just throw it. And if you want to sort of put it in there and wait a couple of seconds, you can actually do that by holding down the button even longer. Interestingly though, what she can do is deploy it like a fuse charge as well. So she can actually put it up onto a breachable surface and it will fire them into the room as a fuse charge would. Obviously, if you're going to be doing this, you're going to want the increased delay time. You want it so it doesn't go off straight away, so you'll hold it down and deploy it while you move around to another doorway potentially. Interestingly though, these can be taken out by things like breaching charges, so you can't be setting off those too close. And When you do throw it like a grenade, it also rolls around, as you see in the video. So you can roll it under doorways, you can roll it under drone holes. It's going to be interesting to see what sort of effect this has. They are affected by Jager devices, they can be taken out by that, but because it fires several little charges out of one sphere, a single Jager device is only going to take out a couple of those at best. As we predicted, Ying's visor that she wears, her goggles, they actually protect her from these flashbangs, so they're not going to affect her. So if you run in a little bit too early and the flashes are still going off, it's not going to be a negative for you at all. It's going to be interesting to see if normal flashbangs affect her, because if this visor protects her against her own gadget, you'd like to think that normal flashbangs won't affect her either. So she could be a really good entryman or point person, you know? On the other side of the Hong Kong CTU, we get Lesion, who is the defender. Now, we already knew that he had these mines that he could set out, as we saw in this GIF in the background. But what we didn't know is how many of them he got, or how they really worked. Now, from reading all of this, he actually gets 7 of them.
Jesus H. Christ.
7, I know, that is insane. What? But what he can do is he can put these out, they will only be deployable on the floor, and he can only put one out every 20 seconds by the sounds of it. There's like a bit of a cooldown time. It doesn't specify, but he might start out with only 3, and then as the round goes on, he gets more, but he can get up to 7 of them. So if you survive for quite a while and you're roaming around the map, you can put these out and cover your back. They do turn invisible, but IQ can spot them with her gadget, so it's a nice little buff to IQ again. And despite them being invisible, Lesion can actually still see these. They're going to have a little icon just above them, so you can see exactly which one has been tripped or which one has been taken out, so you can react accordingly. Now, when these mines are stepped on, what they're going to do is they're going to fire off essentially little darts into the operator's leg or crotch, or wherever you stand on it. But the way they work is that over time, they actually reduce your health. They are poisonous in a sense. The attacking operator that does set this off, though, has one of 2 choices. You can either continue, in which your screen is green and moving like sort of left and right in like a wavy motion to make you sort of seasick, or alternatively, you can go through an animation to pull them out by the sounds of it. Now, this is obviously going to leave you vulnerable, and if you're just entering into the objective site to push the site and it goes off, you're not going to have the opportunity to do that. If you get caught further out as you're approaching the site, you might wish to do that. But Lesion could jump out of anywhere with his silenced shotgun and take you out. So it's going to make pushes on the objective site really, really weird compared to what we're used to. Because very often you'll sort of clear out the Kapkan traps and stuff like that. And you won't really get affected by anything other than potentially an echo drone as you push into that site. With these, you're going to be contending with, you know, mines. We're going to be contending with Ela's mines that we're going to talk about a little bit in a minute. Echo drones. We're still going to have to worry about Kapkan traps and frost mats, as well as potentially barbed wire, shields that you might have to vault over. It's going to be crazy for attackers. So I'm going to just hazard a guess here. But I think the shift in meta is going to massively swing towards defenders potentially, because this is going to slow down attackers and the speed that they push. So I don't know if we're going to see 4-minute rounds coming back. But it's going to be interesting to see the effect that it has, especially with Lesion having 7 of these things. So the final operator, as I mentioned, unfortunately we don't have a GIF for her yet, is Ela. She is going to be a speedy operator. She's going to be a fast operator, similar to Bandit and Jager potentially, as you can sort of tell by the character. Just looking at the character model, she's obviously quite slim, and it's like Ash, the slimmer operators are usually a lot faster. Now she has these Grozmot mines, which actually means thunder in Polish. And they are pretty much proximity concussion mines. They can be stuck to walls, ceilings, floors, you name it, she can put it there probably. Unlike Lesion's mines, which just go on the floor. Obviously, with them being proximity mines, these are going to detonate as soon as you get close to them. They actually stun the attackers, they disrupt their hearing, and it sort of shakes up their view, but it doesn't do any damage. This is going to kind of be like an echo drone. Interestingly, despite the fact that she is actually a defender, the blog site, the information that all this is coming from, it seems like the people writing it don't really understand the intricacies of this game. It's going on to talk about how she's an anti-roamer. I've never seen attackers pushing into the site, even a lone attacker going searching for defenders. I've never classed them as a roamer. So for the writer of this passage and this information to be saying about how she's anti-roamer and can sneak up on roamers and throw down mines to lead to an easy kill, I really find that confusing. But pretty much what they're alluding to is the fact that she can go out roaming, she can predict where the attackers are coming in from, and just try and slow their advance by putting out these concussion mines and then attacking as they trip them. That's why they made her a speedy operator, so she can react pretty quickly according to what is going on. If Ela does get taken out, and she's already used her 3 mines, it doesn't matter, because if she gets injured, she actually has 1 in reserve that she holds on to. With this, she can manually detonate the concussion charge on her person. So if your teammates are just about to push in to try and help you out and help get you back up and there's an attacker in the room, she can set this off, disorient them, and make it easier for other defenders to pick her up and help her out. Now, she will always have this on her person. It's kind of like martyrdom from Call of Duty, but it doesn't actually kill anyone. But it's a similar sort of thing. If you get downed, you're still going to have a chance of deploying this thing. All in all, it's going to be a very, very strange change up to the meta. We're obviously slowing it down a hell of a lot. They're going to be adding a whole host of new traps to the game, which is going to slow people down. They are reducing the abilities of Bandit and Jager and how powerful they are and how much of a high pick rate they have, potentially, by removing their ACOGs. Because let's face facts, they are pretty powerful. There aren't that many defenders with ACOGs and the ability to sort of see over long distance clearly, so it's going to make everything shift to a slower pace. It's going to be completely different, I think, next season, and it's going to be interesting to see how the game works and how it all pans out. Now, obviously, there is a lot of information there, but the key things to garner from this is Operation Blood Orchid is delayed. By the sounds of it, Jager and Bandit are actually losing their ACOGs, despite the fact that the leak was confirmed as a fake, and we are getting a lot more traps than we could possibly ever have expected. I mean, Lesion carrying 7 of these things is insane. What do you guys think of these changes, though? Are they something that you're interested in? Do you think this is a massive, massive error by the devs? Do you think they've taken the wrong decision? I mean, realistically, Lesion and Ela's gadgets aren't too dissimilar, so do we really need repeats of the same sort of gadget? Are they just running out of ideas and, creativity in that respect? Let me know what you think down below. If you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting that thumbs up. If you don't already, make sure to subscribe. And you can also follow me on Twitter or Facebook at GriefDrums to stay up to date with all of the latest news and information as it gets released. But until next time, guys, stay reckless and relentless.